Hello crafty family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY projects, I'm featuring some of my favorite classic spring and Easter Dollar Tree DIYs that are perfect for spring and year round. Now to get you all started, I've included the full supply list with the links in the description box below. Now to all of my amazing subscribers and visitors, I wanted to say hey, and if you have not yet subscribed, you definitely should, so you could be the first to see hundreds of fresh and original craft ideas on my channel. So let's just dive in and get started. Pack of paint stir sticks that I purchased for 98 cents from the Home Depot. Now we want to lay out 7 of those 10 stir sticks about 12 inches wide and making sure they're evenly spaced out. And then we're going to use one edge of one stick to even out both edges. Now once even, go ahead and apply some E6000 about 3 inches in on each stick. And then you want to follow up with hot glue for that instant hold. Now apply one of those paint sticks on the top. And you want to repeat this for the bottom as well. Now you want to apply that last stick angled across the middle as shown here. And we're going to use E6000 and hot glue as well. And there you have it. It's a completed fence. Super easy, right? Now once that dries, we can go ahead and paint it. So gather up your paint supplies. Now I will be painting my fence with this white chalk paint. Now I'm going to apply one coat of that chalk paint, making sure I cover the edges as well. And then once done, just set that to the side to dry. Now I will be using this home sign on my fence, but I want to remove those butterflies. So I'm going to place a cutting mat down, and I will be using a combination of my X-Acto knife and a utility knife to cut those butterflies off. And then once it's cut off, you can use your X-Acto knife and some trimmers to get any small bits that are left. And then you want to repeat this same process with the other butterfly. And then I'm going to take some sandpaper and smooth out all of those cut edges. Now I wanted my letters to be slightly distressed as well, so I'm going to sand off a bit of that color, and I'm also going to sand around all of my letters, just to give it that nice worn look. So now that our fence is dry, we can place our home and our welcome sign on just to test out our exact placement. Then you go ahead and grab one bunch of that boxwood greenery, and I purchased this for 97 cents from Walmart. I also purchased this 97-cent box lavender as well. Now take your boxwood greenery and cut off all of those branches. Now I will be using 4 of the branches, and my placement will be every other slat on the fence, and I'll be using a total of 4. I want to repeat this with the lavender bunch, and I'm only going to use 3 of those branches. Okay, so now we have it laid out, just go ahead and place that to the side, and now we will start to work on our rope trim. Now I will be using this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. What we want to do is measure out 3 pieces about 18 inches long. And then we're going to take our hot glue gun and we're going to adhere the ropes together to create a rope band. And here it is. Now we're going to go ahead and gather up everything to put our sign together. Now we're first going to adhere the welcome on the top, and we're going to be using E6000 and hot glue. Then we're going to grab our home sign and we're going to adhere that right under our welcome sign. Then we're going to go ahead and start to apply our greenery with the hot glue. Now the boxwood will be applied on every other slat, and we're going to be applying it to 4 of the slats. Then we're going to grab our lavender and we're going to nestle that lavender on 3 slats in between all of the greenery. Then along the bottom, we're going to go ahead and add that rope trim with the hot glue. Now we want to wrap that rope around the back and we want to hot glue and clip that into place while that glue sets. And while that sets, we can go ahead and clip off those stems that extend at the bottom. Now to hang our sign, we will be using some jute twine. Now we just want to wrap a piece around 3 or 4 times, and we want to apply it to the back of the sign, and we're going to use hot glue on each end. Then I'm going to take a few scrap pieces of burlap ribbon and I want to glue that on the ends of the twine, just for a clean finish. And here is that completed project. How sweet is this little welcome home sign? I really love the metal and wood lettering that the Dollar Tree offers, and it gives projects a high-end look. These beautiful flowers and greenery give me those spring vibes and add that special touch to this entire display. You can even display this on a shelf or a table, and it's perfect to place it in an entryway for all of your guests to see. They would never know that this project was made for less than $6 in supplies, and even less if you consider using only the pieces you used from a total pack. Now that's a DIY on a budget. I've already attached the hanger and a pack of these wood bunnies, a piece of buffalo check print paper that I made but can be purchased from a hobby store, and a pack of these carrots. We want to first remove our bunnies from the package. And then go ahead and grab your patterned paper. What we want to do is place the bunnies on the back of the paper. And then we want to trace the outline of the bunnies. Then we just want to cut out the bunnies from the paper. Now we want to go ahead and protect your work surface and then lay out the wood bunnies. Now I'll be using Mod Podge to adhere the paper to our bunnies. Go ahead and apply a coat of Mod Podge to each wood bunny. And then adhere the paper. Now once adhered, we'll just go ahead and apply another coat of that Mod Podge on top to the bunnies and seal them off. Now while those dry, we can work on our fence. Now I've already applied the hang rope as seen here. Now we want to take one branch of that boxwood and remove all of the sprigs. And now what we're going to do is arrange the sprigs across the top of the fence. We want to start by gluing a sprig at the top of each corner and work our way down in a swag. And then we're going to take our carrots, go ahead and remove those from the packaging. Now we want to arrange those along that green vining and then just simply hot glue those into place. Now I'm going to take some fabric scraps, or you can use ribbon, to make two small bows to go on each end of that swag. And then just hot glue those into place as well. Then I'm going to take some small flowers of your choice and then cut off 3 of the single flowers. And then bend the heads of each flower so it's facing outward. Now I'm just going to take my flowers and kind of see what kind of arrangement I want. And once I figure that out, just set those to the side and place 2 of the bunnies that you made facing each other at opposite sides of that fence. And then we're just going to add some E6000 and hot glue to the back of each bunny and secure them into place. And next I'm going to take this Dollar Tree metal welcome word that I got, and I'm going to use E6000 and hot glue to adhere that right up under those carrots. And then we're going to add our flowers. And once they're added, go ahead and cut off those stems. Now I wanted to cover the stems, so I will be adhering 3 sprigs of this boxwood and then trimming off the ends of that as well. And we are all done. And here is the completed sign. Okay, I really love how this cute sign turned out. This carrot garland is so cute, and I really think it's the star of this piece. I admit I'm a little obsessed with buffalo check, but it looks so adorable on these little bunnies. And what better way to say welcome to your guest by just adding these metal words and flowers from the Dollar Tree. Now for this project, we'll be using this 6-pack of clear mini square containers. We want to go ahead and open those containers and lay them out to prepare to be painted. Now I'll be using this beautiful Caribbean blue acrylic paint. What we're going to do is paint 2 coats to the inside of the containers, making sure they dry between each coat. Now while those dry, we want to grab one of those leftover 5-gallon paint sticks, and we're going to paint it with a white chalk paint. Now while that stick dries, we're going to go ahead and add letters to our containers. Now I printed out the word spring in a skinny font, and I'll be using this to trace onto the containers. Now I have a link in the description box below for this lettering if you like, or you can use sticker letters if you like. Now, I could have definitely put these on before the project, but this was a last minute decision, but I think it turned out cute. So what I'm going to do is cut the letters out, and I want to tape them to the container, and then I'm going to take a flashlight and flash the light inside so I can see that letter to trace. And then I'm just going to trace it on with a paint marker. And we've done this with all the letters. So now we can take our dried paint stick and we're going to place our containers evenly on top. Now I've used those cut off paint sticks as spacers. So now I'm going to apply my handy E6000 and hot glue combination, and I'm going to adhere these containers to that paint stick. Now, in between these containers is a space, so I decided I'm going to adhere one of these log pieces. Now, I'll also be using some moss on the log piece as an accent. So now I'm just going to apply a bit of that hot glue to each log and then apply a pinch of that moss. And then I'm simply going to hot glue one log in between each of the containers. So now I'm going to take this floral foam and I want to place this inside the container. So I'm going to cut 2 slices about 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut each one of these slices into quarters. I'm then going to apply a generous amount of hot glue to each container and place a foam piece inside. And now I'm just going to add some flower clippings of my choice. I got these flowers from Dollar General that were $1 a bunch. I'm going to go ahead and place one flower in each container. And now you can add this to your spring decor setup. How cute is this? I love it, and this font just makes it stand out. Some foam board, craft sticks, assorted ribbon and flowers, and some jute twine. First thing we need to do is to go ahead and print out the template of the bunny, and the link again is provided in the description box below. And then we're going to take all 4 sheets and we're going to fold and tape them together, being sure to match up all of the lines. Now we're going to trim off that excess. Now go ahead and grab your foam board, and we want to place our bunny template on the top. We're going to go ahead and mark the size of the foam board that you need, and we're going to go ahead and cut off that excess foam board as well. Then you want to take your template and go ahead and lay it face down on top of that foam board. Go ahead and secure it to the foam board in place with tape. So now go ahead and grab your embossing tool, which is also available at the Dollar Tree, and go over your template, transferring the indentation and some of the ink to the foam board. Now once complete, go ahead and remove your template and go over that indentation with a pencil so you can see it a little bit better. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our Mophead and remove it from the packaging. Go ahead and separate the strands, and you want to see if you can find that black clip in the middle. And once you do, go ahead and take some wire clippers, snip one side of that clasp, and it should release all of your strands. Then you want to go ahead and detangle the strands. Now this Mophead ended up with 4 bunches of strands. So place those to the side and then grab your foam board. Now we're going to start applying those strands to the head and the body in a circular pattern, and then we're going to start working on the ears and also the feet. Now to start, go ahead and grab your hot glue gun, and then go ahead and grab the end of one of those Mophead strands. Now we're going to start with a tiny dab of that hot glue just to secure that end, and then we're going to trace around the outside of that bunny with the hot glue. Now you want to continue around the body in a circular pattern. And then when you reach the middle, just go ahead and clip that strand and secure in the middle with a little bit of that hot glue. And then just go ahead and press everything gently into place. Now for the head of the bunny, we're going to go ahead and repeat this process the same way we did with our body. And now that the head is done, we can start on the ears. Now we want to start on the outside edge of the ear, applying our hot glue. Then grab another strand of that Mophead and secure it to the glue and wind it around each of the ears the same way as the body. And when we finish the ears, we can do the same thing with the feet as well.
And here's our bunny with all the strands completed. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife, and I want to cut the bunny out along the outside edge of the mophead strands. Then we're just going to flip it over and remove that cutout. And now what we're going to do is apply a strand of that mop head to the outside raw edge that we just trimmed. What we want to do is just apply a little hot glue around that outside edge, press that strand into place all the way around the bunny. And here it is, fully applied. So I wanted to go ahead and reinforce the ears and the neck on my bunny. I will be using craft sticks to, put on these areas to make the bunny more sturdy. And what I'm going to do is just apply a little hot glue to the craft stick and secure it in place. Alright, so now that that's done, it's time to embellish. Now we can go ahead and grab our ribbons of your choice. Now for the base ribbon, what I'm going to simply do is fold the ribbon over on itself until I have 3 complete loops on each side. And then we can select other coordinating ribbon and fold them in the same way, making sure that each layer that you add is just a tad bit shorter than the previous one. So now that we have our stack, we want to cut in on each side, making sure we don't cut it all the way across. And I didn't show it, but tie some jute string around the middle, and then take a piece of fabric or ribbon and wrap it around the center and secure it in the back with hot glue. Then you just want to go ahead and fluff out all of your layers of your bow. And then to hold the shape, we want to apply a bit of hot glue in and around those layers. And now what I want to do is take another small length of that base ribbon, and I want to resize it to about 1 inch wide. Then I'm going to run a bead of hot glue down the middle and apply a decorative ribbon. I'm going to take that ribbon and I'm going to fit that around the bunny's neck area and flip it over and hot glue it in place. Now I'm just trying to decide where I want to put that bow. So once I picked a place, I decided to pin my bow into place instead of hot glue it. This way I can change it up when I want to. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and give our bunny a tail. So I have I'm cutting a small piece of the mop, and I'm adhering it to or taping it to a piece of cardboard. And then I'm just going to take my strand and I'm going to wrap it around the cardboard several times. And then I'm going to undo that taped strand and tie it together in a knot. Then take your scissors and kind of maneuver them under the wrapped strands, and we want to cut them right down the middle. Then all you have to do is just give your tail a haircut and a fluff. And when that tail is fluffy as you like, go ahead and apply some hot glue to the bottom and press it into place. So now I think I want to add a flower to my bow. So I grabbed this spring flower that's currently available at the Dollar Tree. And what I'm going to do is pin this in place as well. And finally, I'm going to take some of this jute string and wrap it around 3 or 4 times. And then I'm going to apply some hot glue to the back and press the end of that jute string into place. And I'm going to cover that in with just a scrap of that burlap ribbon. And then I'm just going to repeat this with the other side. And now it's all put together. And here is my completed bunny project. This little bunny turned out so cute, and he will make his debut on my front door this Easter. I love how this cute little bow is bursting with spring and Easter colors, and it makes the bunny look so sweet. And I love how cute that the Mophead strands with the white and the gray perfectly complement the bunny. And you only need 1 pack for this project. You can change out the bow to any color or design that you like, since we only pinned it in place. And adding that cute little fluffy tail is super cute, isn't it? Perfect way to make our bunny complete. You can hang this little guy on the inside or out, but either way, it will make a perfect display for your Easter holiday.
One of these grill toppers from Dollar General, and some boxwood greenery from Walmart for 97 cents. Now first we want to do is take our art and remove it from any packaging. Now we also want to remove that MDF artboard as well. Then go ahead and grab that grill topper, and we want to go ahead and remove the labeling from that, and then take that art insert and put it on top, because we want to trace that shape onto the topper. And then we're just going to go ahead and cut it out with a pair of sharp scissors. And now we're just going to make sure our piece will fit the frame. Now I printed out this Home Sweet Home sign on cardstock, and I'm going to be cutting that out. So I have a link to this design in the description box below to use for this project as well. And once that's cut out, I'm going to go ahead and trace that circle onto a piece of that leftover cardstock and cut it out. And then I'm going to go ahead and take that circle, and I want to center it on that metal piece and hot glue it into place. And then I'm going to hot glue that Home Sweet Home sign right on top of that on the opposite side. So then I placed down a piece of parchment paper, and I grabbed that boxwood greenery.
what I'm going to do is just start picking off those branches and apply them around that Home Sweet Home sign, overlapping the ends. And here is that single round complete. And now we're going to apply one more round of that greenery. And here it is with a double layer. Now for a final touch, I'm going to tie this buffalo check ribbon into a bow. And then I want to go ahead and set it in place and glue it to the top of the wreath. And then we can place this back into the frame and secure it in place with those side tabs. And here it is on full display. This sweet little sign is so adorable, and I love the metal added in the back. Has a rustic farmhouse feel. We'll be using these two Dollar Tree wastebasket bottoms left over from my cathedral window project. We'll also be using some nautical rope from Dollar Tree, one bunch of lavender that was 97 cents from Walmart. We'll use these templates and a piece of black foam poster board. First, what we want to do is print out those bathtub and shower head templates provided in the description box below. And then you can take your piece of poster board or foam and we'll place that template on top. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and trace it onto that poster board. Now after tracing, if you can't see it better, just outline with a ballpoint pen or pencil. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to repeat this process with the shower head. So now we're going to go ahead and cut out both of those pieces. So now we're going to lay out our wire circles, and we want to make sure those cutouts fit. Then go ahead and grab our nautical rope. Now we're going to lay out some parchment paper underneath this, and then we're going to apply that nautical rope around the edge of our wire circle. Now we're going to be using hot glue. And here it is all complete. Then all we have to do is just repeat this with the second circle. So now we can go ahead and we can apply our templates. Now so for the bathtub, what we want to do is apply hot glue around the sides and the bottom, leaving the top portion of the tub open. For the shower head, we're going to apply the hot glue to the pipe and the top portion of the head, leaving the bottom of the shower head open. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that lavender and I want to pull off some of the flowers. And now what we're going to do is take some of those flowers and we're going to stuff those stems into the opening that we left on the tub. Now once it's all stuffed, we're going to flip it over and just use that tool to grab and pull some of those stems through and glue it into place. Now once everything is in place, we're going to cut off a scrap of that poster board or foam board, apply hot glue, and we're going to press that to the back. And then I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process with the flowers coming out of the shower head.
and then secure it in the back. So now that both circles are decorated, I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of jute twine, and I'll be using this to hang the piece. I'm just going to feed it through one of the top holes and then loop it through. Now, as a final touch, I'm going to add a little black and white check bow to each frame that I made from ribbon purchased from the Dollar Tree. And here are the completed projects. How sweet do these little bathroom pictures look? Now I am so happy I found a way to repurpose those leftovers from another project to make these, and they'll fit perfectly into my farmhouse bath decor. These mini St. Patrick's pots, 2 of these silver bowls, and 2 of these mason jar lids. Now the first thing we want to do is remove the pots from the packaging and carefully cut off the handles that come on them. And then we're going to grab 2 of these silver bowls. Now we will be adhering the pots to the bottom of the silver bowl as shown here. We'll use 3 pots on one and 2 pots on the other. So now I'm going to go ahead and take some E6000 adhesive and I want to apply it to the bottom of the bowl. And then I'm going to follow up with some hot glue for that instant hold. Now we're going to apply that first pot with the bottom side down. Now once that is applied, we're going to go ahead and add E6000 and hot glue to the top of that pot. And then we're going to place another pot on top with the open sides together, and we want to make sure we align the seams and the handles that are on the pots. And then we want to apply that third pot on top with the bottoms together. Now here's what it looks like so far. Now you want to go ahead and grab your mason jar ring, and we're going to apply some E6000 and hot glue around that inside ring. And then we're going to place that insert inside and press it into place. Now once adhered, we're going to add that mason jar ring on top of our candle holder stack with our glue combination. And now we're just going to repeat this with the second set, only using the 2 pots. And here are both fully assembled and ready to paint. Now I took these outside and applied 3 light coats of this flat white spray paint, making sure to let it dry 10 minutes between each coat. And once they're dry, we can start adding some distressing. Now I will be using this white acrylic paint, some of this gray pavement color acrylic paint, and this nutmeg brown acrylic paint to do this. So what I'm going to do is blend that brown and gray to make a darker brown, and I want to apply it to both candle holders in a random pattern. And then I'm going to blend that gray and that white, tap off that excess, and I want to dry brush that color onto the candle holder. Then what you want to do is just continue to mix and blend all 3 colors until you get your desired look, and then let them completely dry. And here are my finished candle holders. I really love how these turned out. You just add your candle, some greenery on top, and this completes the candle holder look. Another great thing is that you can flip these over, you can add some greenery inside the bowl, and it looks fabulous. I love how these are good for a dual purpose. Now for this project, I'll be using this bag of wood slices from the Dollar Tree and this bunny sign. Now first, what we're going to do for the bunny sign is remove that jute tie at the top, and we're going to go ahead and set that aside. And then we're going to remove that cotton ball tail. Now I'm going to lightly sand this on this side only to remove the glitter shedding, but we will be painting the other side. So go ahead and lay out your sign and grab up your paint supplies. Now I will be using this white chalk paint for this sign. Now what you want to do is apply 2 coats of that chalk paint, letting them dry thoroughly in between. And now that the chalk paint is dry, we're going to add a distress look. Now I'll be using this pavement color acrylic paint, and we want to take the chip brush and dab off the excess paint for a mostly dry brush and go around the edges for a lightly distressed look. Now once that dries, go ahead and grab your wood slices, and we want to arrange them on the sign in the letter of your choice. Now for me, I am making the letter H. Now once the letter is in place, I will secure the combination of the hot glue and the E6000. So next I'm going to take these Dollar Tree wildflowers, and I want to snip off 2 of the stems. And then I'm going to secure them with some floral wire. Now once tied together, I'm just going to hot glue the bunch to the top of the sign. Now in the center of the bunch, I'm just going to add a few of these loose flowers. Now at the bottom of the sign, I'm going to go ahead and make another one of those bows out of that pink burlap. And then I'm going to take 2 pieces of that boxwood and hot glue them to the back of the bow. And then I'm just going to apply that bow to the bottom of the sign. Now finally, all we have to do is add that jute tie to the top of the sign, and it's ready to display. I love this sign. It could be on your front door, a child's room. Oh, it screams spring. Now here is my inspiration for my creation today, and I thought it was simply adorable, so I took a trip to Dollar Tree and picked up some supplies to create it. Now for this project, you'll need 2 closed or open slat crates from the Dollar Tree, 1 10-pack of these 98-cent stir sticks from Lowe's, 2 wood planks from this package from the Dollar Tree, some tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree, and we only need 5 of these, 1 white wastebasket from the Dollar Tree, and some long bamboo skewers, and if you don't have those, you can use the short ones as well. And now it's time to cut and prep our pieces. So the first thing I want to do is to take the wastebasket, and I'm going to cut off the top and the bottom rims. Now I was able to do this just fine with a heavy-duty pair of scissors, but you can use wire clippers or tin snips if you have some on hand. Now once both of those are removed, you want to find the seam of that basket and you want to cut the basket apart there. And then just flatten out the basket as much as possible. So next you want to take your paint sticks and remove them from the package. Now you want to take 4 of those paint sticks and you want to cut them down to about 10.5 inches. And here they are cut, but don't throw away the cut parts since we'll be using those later. And now we're going to prep our planks. So we'll be using 2 out of this package. Now these 2 together will be too long, so we'll need to make these 10.5 inches as well when butted together. So I'm going to cut these pieces down to 5.25 inches each, and I'm going to mark the place and then cut them down. And here are the pieces all cut to size. And we're checking here to see if it matches the paint stick, and we're good to go. So now we're going to take our skewers and I'm going to measure them to fit the width of those wood planks. And then once I have that measurement, I'm going to cut them slightly longer than our mark. And then I'm going to use this cut piece to cut about a dozen of these. So together we should have 4 10.5 inch paint sticks, 4 12-inch uncut paint sticks, 2 wood planks, and then a dozen skewers about 3 inches long. We also need our basket piece and we'll need our 2 crates. Now let's assemble the project. So we're going to start by adhering those 2 plates together with this wood glue from the Dollar Tree. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the stickers and then apply that wood glue on one end of the crates. And then press the end of the other crate into place, making sure it's even. And then once you do that, you just want to secure them with the little clips from the Dollar Tree. Now you can use binder clips or pressure clamps if you have those as well. And then lay out a grid mat, and I'm going to grab all of my paint sticks. Now I'm going to start by laying those short 10.5 inch short sticks across the top and the bottom, and make sure they're 12 inches apart. And then you want to take the longer uncut paint sticks and you want to lay them on the top, covering the ends. And then you're just going to apply wood glue to each end of that 12-inch stick and press it into place. And then repeat this on the other side. And then we want to grab our basket screen and we want to measure and cut a piece that will fit the length of the center with a slight overlap. And once we figure it fits very well, we're going to take our staple gun and I want to secure it into place using some extra paint sticks underneath as leverage. And then I'm going to add a staple in each corner that we previously glued together, just for a little extra stability. So the next step is to take those other 2 12-inch paint sticks and want to glue them on top of the first 12-inch ones, sandwiching that basket wire in between them. We want to cover up those raw edges. And then you just hold these in place with clips. And then finally we can add those last 2 10.5-inch paint sticks on the top and bottom and glue and clip those into place as well. Now we do have a lot of layers here, and I want to make sure everything is nice and secure. So I'm going to use 1 3/4 inch wire nail in each corner. Now while that dries, I'm going to take the 2 wood planks and I want to butt them together at the short ends. And then I'm going to take those short pieces we cut off the paint sticks and use them to join the pieces together. Now I'm going to take some wood glue and apply the pieces on the seam and staple into place. Now I do make an adjustment by removing one of these pieces later, so be sure to watch the entire tutorial before starting this project so you can make the adjustment. And the next thing we're going to do is take 5 of those tumbling blocks and we're going to glue them together end to end with wood glue. Now I'm all about making my pieces all secure, so I'm going to use this craft stick to use on top, and I have a leftover jumbo craft stick, but you can use standard sticks as well. So I'm going to cut my jumbo craft stick in half, and I am just going to glue it right on top and then let it sit to dry. So now we're going to grab those planks and our skewers. Now I will be gluing a skewer across the plank every inch. Now I started by applying glue to the skewers directly, but I found it easier to apply the glue to the plank for the remaining skewers and then pressing those skewers into the glue. And while this dries, we can work on our wire frame. So I want to start by taking our tumbling block stick and I want to glue it to the bottom edge of that top paint stick. Now you want to make sure that the blocks are on their side so they protrude out further. And then we want to take our crates and we want to secure those to the frame as well. But first we want to make sure those crates are nice and secure together, so I'm just going to add a few staples to the inside just to make sure they do not come apart with the weight of anything we put inside of them. Alright, so we're at the point where we make an adjustment to our planks. Now I am actually going to remove that wood scrap that is closest to the edge. Now this was getting in the way of it being totally secure to the wire frame, so instead of having a short piece there, I'm going to put a long piece there and it'll have a longer piece of wood to make contact with the frame, making it more secure. So in order to do this, I'm going to take one of those extra paint sticks and I'm going to cut it to 10.5 inches or less, and then I'm going to apply wood glue and apply it in place to place it where the stick I removed. Just place it right back in that place and just make sure it's nice and centered. And then just staple that into place. And the last thing you have to do on here is to trim off that extra skewer piece with the wire clippers. So now we're going to add wood glue to the top edge of our frame and also at the top edge of the tumbling blocks. And we're going to apply that piece, which is the roof piece, on top at an angle, and then we're going to tape it into place to make sure it stays in place. And once it is in place, I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to add it to both of the seams that I just glued. And then we just let that dry. And now we can add our crates. Now there was a small gap formed from the paint sticks, so I will use the pieces that we cut off to fill those gaps behind the crates. And all I'm going to do is to glue them into place like shown here, and then secure them with one staple. And then I'm going to apply some wood glue to the bottom and the sides of the crate and then press it into place on our frame. Now my staple gun was too large to fit in the crate, so we're going to secure these on with those 3/4 inch nails again on the back. So I am going to be adding 4 nails on each side through the back side of the piece into the crates. Now this should make it super secure. Now, as a last minute decision, I thought that a top piece would make this look more finished, so I cut a skewer to the length of the top. And then I added some wood glue across the top and applied that skewer in place, and I taped it there and waited for it to dry. Then on the back side, I just added a bead of hot glue, just for good measure. And now you just let everything dry. Alright, now it's all dry and the tape has been removed. So now we can prepare to paint our piece. Now you could stain it if you want, but I'm painting it to match my inspiration piece, so I will be using this chalk paint to do that. Now I'm going to apply 2 coats to the entire piece, allowing it to dry completely in between the coats. Now once it has dried, I'm going to give it a very light distressed look. So I'll be using this black acrylic paint here. And I'll be also using this white acrylic paint. Then I'm going to mix the two together to get a light gray color. And then I'm going to take my chip brush and I want to brush on my distressing with a mostly dry brush. Now this will make it look weathered and worn, but you just want to do a very light finish. And now that it's dry, we can add our final touches. Now I'm going to add this Dollar Tree welcome sign that was silver that I painted black. Now I'm just going to apply hot glue to the back and then press it into place on top of the front of the crates. Now all you have to do is to fill your crates with florals, greenery, mini vases, or whatever you like. Now you can sit this on a tabletop or even hang it. Now here is a variation of it finished with the lemons. Now I think this would go great with the new lemon plates out at the Dollar Tree. Or how about succulents? Now these succulents are from the Dollar Tree as well, and they add a beautiful pop of color. And who doesn't love yellow wildflowers? They always look beautiful, and it gives this planter such a super cute look. And aw, what about these cute lamia with a pop of lavender? I love the soft and subtle look of this. And of course, there's the beautiful roses that are always so sweet. Now, I really love all the details in this piece, and I think that this truly resembles the inspiration piece. Now, I think this would be perfect under a covered porch or even inside in an entryway of your home. You have to let me know what your favorite look is in the comments. Listen, I hope that you guys were inspired by these creations and will give these projects a try. If you love DIYs on a budget, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty EE on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. Now also be sure to subscribe by clicking on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen and hit that bell to be notified when the next DIY goes live. It doesn't cost a thing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.